What's going on, Jerome's? Za'Darius Smith was a fantastic pickup for the Minnesota Vikings last offseason, where Za'Darius came in after his deal with the Ravens didn't quite work out, but signed a 3-year, $42 million deal, which was basically a 1-year, $6.45 million deal that we've gone over, and it was far below what his market value could and should have been. Frankly, he should have signed a 1-year deal, and then if he blew up in 2022, would be able to hit open free agency and get himself a new contract, but that isn't what happened, and the Vikings now have complete control over the next 2 seasons, and Za'Darius, I mean, he was a team leader and came in and was fantastic. He was one of the big proponents of the victory ice, Kirk Thuggins, all that good stuff, and Za'Darius was phenomenal. He made the Pro Bowl. 78 regular season pressures, 4th in the league. 53 regular season hurries, 2nd. 10 sacks, 19th in the league, as well as an 84.7 PFF pass rushing grade, which was 7th. And it could have been better. Like Za'Darius, before he tweaked up his knee against the Bills week 10, he was on a tear, man. Like, he was fully on a defensive player of the year trajectory, but didn't quite work out the rest of the season, even though to a degree he was still effective generating pressures. Like, he only had half a sack. He wasn't closing like before, even though, yes, he was getting more attention. And also, this did coincide with the rise of Danielle Hunter's production. Danielle ultimately led the team in sacks, so, I mean, that could be part of it as well. But either way, I mean, Za'Darius Smith still showed that he's a supreme talent, and the problem is his contract. Like I said, like $9.45 million is not premium edge rusher money, but he signed the deal. And like we said, like, he should have signed a 1-year deal and then gone from there, but he didn't. So now that's where the Vikings are at. And then Za'Darius, of course, has done some posturing this offseason, selling his house, as well as saying goodbye to, saying thank you. Well, it was a thank you, but it read as a goodbye on social media to Vikings fans, the teammates, coaches, and the entire Minnesota Vikings organization. So, yeah. And then this offseason, the Vikings signed Marcus Davenport. Ostensibly could be a 1-for-1 replacement for Za'Darius Smith, as well as, you know, his $13 million salary. I mean, you have a guy, Marcus Davenport, who basically has had one good season, has had injury concerns and consistency issues. And if you're Za'Darius Smith, who came off his monster year, and you have a guy coming in who's making $3.5 million more per year, I don't know, man. I don't know. But Kwesi addressed the situation at his presser on Thursday, and this is what he said. This write-up is from NFL.com. As for Za'Darius Smith, the pass rusher caused a bit of ruckus in March when he informed the team that he wished to be released. Smith remains on the roster, but Adofo-Mensah indicated that they're working to a resolution, though just what that would be remains a mystery. We try to be solutions-oriented here. That's what we'll always talk about, the GM said. And sometimes those solutions come from different places or whatever. But he was a great member of our team last year, and we'll keep the conversation ongoing. Note the past tense, talking about Za'Darius. And for the Vikings, you got to keep Danielle. I've said it a bunch of times. You got to keep Danielle. They already brought in Davenport on a 1-year deal. Za'Darius certainly has trade value. And then you got Wanham. I think Patrick Jones second is in line for a monster season as well. So the Vikings aren't bereft of depth at the edge rusher position. Also, the draft class is pretty solid. But Za'Darius obviously still has value, even though he's going to be 31. He showed that he can still get to the quarterback when healthy. That's the major issue. But also an issue is that his $9.45 million base salary, that's not going to work with him. But the Vikings, at the end of the day, they do have the ability to just be like, hey, you either play here or you play nowhere. And frankly, I don't like when teams play hardball like that. Yes, the player signed the contract, but also, do you want players that feel coerced to be here and are forced to be here? Or do you want guys who want to be here and buy in? Because attitudes are way different in that regard. But $5.05 million of his base salary this year is already fully guaranteed. So that's why the Vikings can't cut him. They would have to trade him. He does have a $15.49 million cap hit, but they would save around $7.1 million cap space by trading Za'Darius. And I think that he would have some trade value, whether it be, it probably wouldn't be huge since they're picking up his deal. They're probably going to have to give him a new contract. He is going to be 31. He is coming off an injury, but a third or fourth rounder in this draft class, I don't think that would be out of the realm of possibility and would help the Vikings shore up some of their draft pick deficiencies, since they only have 5 and also no second round pick. So I don't know. Like I feel like this is a saga that's going to have some potential resolution during the draft. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all if Za'Darius is traded right before the draft or even during the draft, where, say, a team misses out on an edge rusher they wanted round 1, and then they go through the Rolodex, like, okay, we have the cap, we can afford Za'Darius, we can work out a deal, and Za'Darius, even for a year or 2, as would have more utility on a team that is going for it versus a potential guy that they can get in the 3rd or 4th round. And the Vikings, I'm sure, would take the pick. And also, they're decently stacked up behind Za'Darius. So if they do end up trading him, which, it's pretty clear that he wants to be traded, it wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world for the Vikes. But your thoughts are thoughts. Kwesi talked about the ongoing Za'Darius Smith situation. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Most support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.